A new age is dawning in this sleepy part of the border country between England and Wales. The town of Hay-on-Wye sits yards on the Welsh side in the Brecon Hills, and it's just about to have a rude awakening.
Morning.
Oh, good morning. Could I see your passport, please?
Certainly.
Thank you very much.
Tis
That's all
me.
in order, sir? Thank you. It's a bit chilly today,
Yes,
isn't it?
it is. Just a bit brisk.
It certainly is.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, thank you. Good
Morning.
Bye-bye.
Because in amongst the debate on devolution, a radical faction in Hay-on-Wye is proposing to take the law into its own hands. Tomorrow, Hay-on-Wye announces its intention to become an independent state, free from the bureaucracies of central government and able to concentrate on its own products like hay sausages and hay bread. Above all, it's the dream of one man who considers that independence is the only salvation for a town he considers lost in the backwaters of British civilization. Hay's own Ian Smith is Richard Booth. He's 38, an Oxford scholar and more recently an entrepreneur. He's declared himself king of his very own ruined Norman castle. He took part in a pre-UDI photo call amongst members of his new cabinet, who include the Prime Minister, the Minister of Defence, a minister without portfolio but with Black Homburg, and Hay's First Lady, local resident April Ashley, the newly appointed Duchess of Offa's Dyke, who says, if she can change, so can Hay.
Hold on then, here we go. Thank you very much indeed.
The independence celebrations include the unveiling of a new flag, which may prove something of a green and white rag to the Welsh Assembly, if ever there is one. Richard and his crusaders for UDI are offering passports to all the townspeople, and anyone else who'll have one, and selling dukedoms for £25 and a free T-shirt. The townspeople might be hesitant about this rather bold step into constitutional history, but for the man who's planned it, it's all very clear.
I think there are hundreds of reasons why the British Isles needs a Liechtenstein. I think there are hundreds of reasons why a small town can't regard its only hope as to hold out a begging bowl to central government bureaucracy, give us a grant, give us a factory. I've lived in Hay 15 years and I've seen the closing of the railway, 30 or 40 shops going, the town getting poorer and poorer. I think that there's a real chance of making prosperity. Well, if, for example, we establish a Hay national sausage, and this could be one of 100 products, but we say we don't want to bring up our children on polystyrene commercial sausages, that's a reason for the tourist to come to Hay.
It should be pointed out at this stage that King Richard and his plans are receiving no support from either the Brecknock Borough Council or the local town council. In fact, the local council have put this notice up here, which explains how they've completely disassociated themselves from his plans either now or in the future. So why, in Wye, is King Richard so powerful? Well, the answer is books, thousands of them. Richard Booth owns 7 shops, including a converted cinema, all selling second-hand books in the town. Next year, Hay-on-Wye goes into the Guinness Book of Records as the largest second-hand bookstore in the world. In fact, Richard Booth has created a sort of Las Vegas for books. And rightly or wrongly, through his business and his outlandish plans for UDI, he feels he can attract enough trade and tourism to Hay-on-Wye to make it profitable and self-sufficient. But underneath all this, one can't help detect a certain element of publicity seeking, and that it's Richard Booth pushing the boat out to boost his own sales.
I named this ship HMS Hay-Ho.
This is the other boat, the Hay gunboat, undergoing sea trials in what will become the national waters of the River Wye. But to the townspeople themselves, the whole event is something of a damp squib.
Jolly good, Bill. Got him.
Now, do you ever had anything ridiculous in your life?
Why's that?
Well, why should it? What's it got to be independent with?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. We've got a lot of old-age pensioners.
I read a lot about it, you know, about Mr. Booth and that, but I really don't understand what they mean.
Well, I think it's a good idea as long as they don't use terrorism to achieve their real independence, you know.
Can I ask you what you think about the idea of independence for Hay?
Oh, all right.
You do?
Aye.
Why?
Well, because of course we are independent.
Ah, right.
Confused or not, they will have the chance to vote in a referendum in 6 months' time. Meanwhile,
People of Hay,
at the castle,
I've considered
the
very
message is being
carefully
prepared,
the
loud
arguments
and clear.
against Home Rule, and after much study have come to the conclusion that there is not one single sensible one among them. Our only hope is, if we do not want to join the many thousands of small towns who hold out a begging bowl to government bureaucracy, is to cast our destiny aside from them and to create a spectacular future for us in declaring Home Rule. I believe by so doing we can make our...
To some people, Richard Booth may appear shocking.
Well, I don't believe at the moment I've broken the law in any way, but in fact there's a town called Enkledorn, which is 40 miles from Salisbury in Rhodesia, and when Rhodesia went ahead with their UDI, Enkledorn, which said, OK, we're declaring UDI against you. I'm putting through a call to Enkledorn tomorrow to see what legal complications they faced.
But what you're doing isn't, you know, the men in the boat, the flags, the passports. Aren't they just some sort of gimmick to try and attract people in here?
No, I disagree. I think everybody involved in UDI in Hay is fairly serious about it. It's quite interesting belief, you know, some people totally... It's kind of levels of belief, but nobody completely believes in it or completely disbelieves in it.
Every new nation needs a national anthem, and Hay now has its own. Pinched from that well-known tune, Bridge on the River Wye. Whether April the 1st is the best choice for Independence Day, it will be some months before we can see who's fooling who.